dramatic.
I know, right?
So dramatic. Hi, everyone.
Hello, people. If you were expecting Anne and Renata, I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
half right.
but someone is on holidays, enjoying herself amongst the fjords.
Fjords.
So, yeah, Anne, hope you're having a fantastic time eating all of that luscious food on board the hurdy-gurdy.
The hurdy-gurdy express she's on.
That's right.
Sorry if we're looking a little bit less than... Oh, no, it's pretty HD.
Yeah.
I forgot to charge the camera.
Shocking.
That's why I'm Cousin Steve and not in the title. Because, you know.
This is Cousin Steve, by the way. Say hello, Cousin Steve.
I'm frightfully good. Just
And
ask me.
if you're joining us for the very first time, this is Cousin Steve.
Hi. And that's Renata.
Hi. Do us a big favour, please. If you could share this around to one more person at least.
Share it to your page. If you think there's someone that might be interested in a little bit of paranormal chit chat, that's what we're here for tonight with the paranormal hot seat.
That's right.
The seats are warm. We've got things to discuss. We want you to join the conversation as well. So make sure you chuck your comments in there. Share the show. Let us know if you enjoy what we're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely.
The door to the studio is opening by itself. So we're living the dream. Auntie Z's not happy.
No. We're all right. No, no, I won't say that. Ant's not here. That's all.
Oh, it's a cat.
It's
It's a cat. Not a ghost. It's a cat.
It's a cat.
It's Oliver.
Oh, yeah.
You can hear him. I'm going to take care of that. Excuse me. Talk amongst yourselves.
Yes, so if you could share, that would be awesome. We are trying to raise the profile of our YouTube page and get a few new people on so they can check out all of our shenanigans and everything that we have put on. Apparently, we've got hundreds of videos up. You'd think we would be rich and famous by now, but no one cares.
No. I've taken care of the pussy poltergeist. It's all good.
Thank you.
He's been silenced. He's not silent very much.
Thank you.
So I have the pleasure of looking after Anne's fur babies while they are cruising the fjords.
Mm-hmm.
The cats are high maintenance, mate. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
High maintenance cats. The dogs, they're chill. Dogs until someone comes to the door.
Mm-hmm.
Then it sounds like World War III, but that's okay. It's only half a second. It's all good.
Yes. All bluster.
All
That's
bluster,
it.
No muster.
That's right.
That's how we go. So what do we want to talk about tonight, Miss Renata?
Oh, well, we're going to be talking about some new movies coming out.
Yep.
And
TV shows.
Whether you
all
think
that kind of stuff.
whether you think they're going to be worth watching and spending your money on. I would love to talk about paranormal scandals just for a minute. And paranormal
scandals, not paranormal sandals. Okay. Right.
Scandal. Because I want to know what you draw the line on when it comes to scandals. And whether if any of us normal souls, talking about sandals,
assholes,
and whether any of us normal people, if we did the same thing that some of these stars do, how would you be treating us as opposed to them? Now, point in question, just a very simple point. Dear old Zach, we know Zach
CB.
Zach the Big B, has been caught out plagiarizing another book when he wrote, I guess, Hunting for Dummies, I think it was. And to be super honest, I'm surprised that he wrote any of it.
Yeah, you would think
that he had a ghostwriter.
He would have a ghostwriter. Zach's a man of... Look, we'll give him his due diligence. He does have his fingers in many paranormal pies.
I'm glad you cleared that up.
His fingers in many paranormal pies, and I think that when someone reaches a certain level of fame, they diversify. So obviously Ghost Adventures was the baby. You know, Ghost Adventures started out as a documentary film and then spread into a TV show that was 2 TV shows, it's 3 TV shows, it's a movie, that's a haunted museum, that's this, that's that, books, T-shirts, all that kind of thing. They spread
Absolutely.
like wildfire, really.
Absolutely.
So I'm not surprised. Look,
And look, I know that people like to follow up with a book. I did. But, I know people like it because it's something that you can touch
tangible.
and have that has been produced by a person you really like and a person that you really, feel loyalty towards.
Especially the TV stars, because you get that connection with them.
Yeah.
They soak in, as it were.
Yeah, but he or his ghostwriter, it's kind of been said that it's him, have been caught out plagiarizing a full, I think, portion of the book that was written by somebody else.
Wow.
So would that be something that turns you off? For example, following that person, would it be enough for you to go, oh, that's so wrong. I'm not going to follow him. He's a horrible person for doing that. And like, how does that differ from maybe some paranormal group that and that you may have gone on their tours or whatever, actually doing something like that? Do we give greater leniency to people who are on TV? If you can put something in the comments other than saying hi to each other, and I love that you say hi to each other.
It's a community.
But yeah, what do you guys think? Pop it into the comments. We'd love to know while I give this a quick share.
I think it's interesting because if we want to put it into context, look back at Derek Ahora.
Yeah.
Okay. When Most Haunted first hit the scene, massive success. You know?
Yep.
Massive, not only British, but international success.
Mm-hmm.
And then, Derek got caught out doing what he was doing, allegedly. And then he didn't disappear.
No.
He got his own show.
Yes.
So it didn't necessarily damage his cred that much.
Mm-hmm.
I think people that were fans of Derek, God rest, R.I.P. Derek, definitely still followed him, and he still did the whole dog and pony show with Sam and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it may have damaged him, but he was able to continue through.
Mm-hmm. And is that to do with the character that he portrays, or what?
It's very interesting because this is another point. So I got Yvette Fielding's book,
mm-hmm.
her audiobook. And that's a huge example of a show and a team that has gone through a lot of controversy.
Mm-hmm.
They're still going. Most Haunted is still going. It's not on TV. They're YouTube based now. They've got their own. They're producing full episodes and longer episodes. And if anything, it's gone back to what it used to be, with a more bare bones, authentic kind of investigation,
mm-hmm.
and spending longer in the locations,
mm-hmm.
which I think we struggle with when we offer tours.
Yeah.
You've only got this window of time, and then it's like, okay, well, how do you give people the best of that moment?
Yeah.
But the Most Haunted stuff on YouTube's actually been really, really interesting to watch again. But Yvette talks about it in her book, saying that no matter what happens, the whole Derek faking it thing really did damage him. They had to, his ego is what she says, was what really damaged it. And they took a step away from him. But the show managed to still be a massive success after the allegations of faking evidence of Derek. And even in her book, they're doing live events now.
Yes.
So like huge live events, very popular live events. And I think, again, when it comes to Most Haunted, they've been in our lives for over 20 years now. You've got to think Yvette, Carl, and Stuart are the main, they're still from the OG cast, but they're still doing it. They're still putting themselves out there and kind of saying bugger the haters, bugger the hate, and we're going to keep doing it. So I guess that's a good sign of them believing in themselves, at least.
Yeah. And
maybe.
look, if it wasn't going to pay the bills, they wouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
So they have a very, very loyal following. And this is what we're talking about, loyalty, a loyal following that do watch everything that they do, and they do spend their money at the shows. And they want a photograph with, all the cast members. And
Don't get me wrong. I went to the museum. I paid the VIP.
Yeah.
I went to Zach's museum, and if Zach was round the corner, I'd go see him. I'd be like, I want to see what the persona is in real life. You know.
Yeah.
It'd be very interesting. Lisa says perhaps less leniency to more well-known figures.
I think they can get away with more.
Yeah.
I really do. Or we're less inclined to go, oh, bugger that, I'm not following him anymore or her anymore because they did XYZ, and we know that was fake. So, I mean, a lot of the ghost shows, fake evidence. It's just the way it is.
What? How dare you?
They fake evidence.
How dare you?
But I wonder how many people who watch them would never think that that's what they do, that everything is 100%,
I am
real.
Yeah, it's very interesting because even as a viewer, I am, and I was interested in that before I met you guys and all that kind of thing. You can be more critical of what you see, so it kind of makes you work harder in a way, which is, I don't know. Like if they're accused of faking it, you go, oh, it could be this. You get into automatic debunking mode already. So when they present you with the evidence, you know, oh, well, it could be that. I don't know. It just makes me work a little bit harder. Catherine says Zach gets a lot of flack for how he's supposed to act. People would find negative either way. Yeah. I think he's a very divisive figure because he's successful. And no matter who you are, I think people do get this confused. Knowing some people who work in, being around the entertainment industry as long as I've been, and knowing people who are successful, have been successful, there's this aura that you think these people have to be nice people. They don't. They're just normal people whose job is being famous or was being famous. That being said, I'm sure everyone has their bad days. And I think you've got to give people that space. We have our bad days. Yeah. When there's, when we're on tour, oh, God, I don't want to talk to people. Yeah. And turn on, we're here.
That's right. And I don't know, I've forgotten now.
But I think Zach is, I would imagine that Zach's probably on the spectrum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I was going to say is you don't hear of the good stuff.
No, it's very...
You often hear of just the bad stuff.
The pylon's pretty intense, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who have we got here? Robin. I heard an interview with Yvette Fielding. It was very interesting. I believe that she believes what they experience is real. I guess it's a personal thing. Well, that's the whole point of the field, isn't it? Pat Fielding. It comes down to the evidence that you and I get, and Anne gets, and our team gets, that we present to people for them to make up their minds. It's not about us going, well, this is definitely paranormal. It's not the wind blowing the door open. It's not the cat tapping at the door. It's a ghost. And
most of, if you go right back to the very beginning of when Most Haunted started, it was very, very different. And the way that Yvette conducted herself was
love it.
Very, very different.
I love Screaming Yvette. She's my favorite.
And it's worthwhile going right back to the very beginning if you're not old enough to remember how Most Haunted started.
If you weren't there with the rest of it.
And they even were talking about things like Yvette didn't wear the right clothes. She never wore the right clothes right at the beginning because she was still doing it more as a TV presenter rather than as a paranormal investigator. That's something that was a skill that was honed later on.
The black leather came season 2. The vinyl, I don't know how they would have done investigations. They go, if you're a paranormal investigator, invest in a good leather jacket is all I'm going to say. You don't want to be the one squeaking. No. I love mine. That's the best money I've ever spent. It's so comfortable. It doesn't make any noises.
And please, soft-soled shoes. Soft sole shoes.
And not like broken ones that mine make little clicky noises when you walk in. I'm like, it's my shoe.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Kate, I would like to know more about this. I've been on a couple of most haunted events and they're very good. I want to know what it's like, what they do, what happens.
Yeah,
Like, I would love
Kate,
to
let
hear
us
more
know.
about that. Can you please let us know a little bit more?
Yeah.
There's
That would be fun to go to.
I
That
would
be.
go.
I'd go.
I would go in
I'd
a heartbeat.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
All right, Melanie has to say, most haunted did well as it was new to the scene. Yeah, it was the first. You've got to think it was the first of these modern day shows. Watch it was bloody annoying with looking at their faces, not evidence, and listening constant screaming. I have fondness. I will go back it because I own the DVDs.
Right.
Up until season 13 or 14, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And they only sold till season 3 here in Australia, so I imported them from the UK and Most Haunted Lives. I've got all of those, just chilling. It's nostalgic. It's like, okay, simpler times.
Yeah. It was simpler times. People needed less. They expected less because they didn't know what to expect. You know, they were happy to be in what would have been looked at as a haunted site, and whatever was going to happen was fabulous. You know?
And no one was jaded back then.
No.
Either. That's the thing. No one was jaded by it all.
Too many skeptics.
Robin says, I think the pressure of being famous means they don't come up with evidence, they will be perceived as a failure. Oh wow.
Yes.
So they fake evidence and get caught.
Yeah.
Well, how often do we not get anything and we're the worst investigators in the world?
Worst investigators in the world. Yeah.
Yvette is adamant that she has experiences even at home. In her book she says since she was a child there's been stuff happening and that's why she's interested as she is. Jesse says, I used to believe in everything. Now I watch these shows for the entertainment value and still manage to freak myself out. I would be screaming like a vet if I was in the team too.
And you have to sort of agree there with Jesse that a lot of the shows are really entertaining. They're great. A lot of them aren't. A lot of them you sort of go after 5 minutes. Yeah, that's it. I've had it. What do you think? Got another question for you guys while we're on this before we change subject.
Right.
What do you think about all of these famous people that now come onto the scene and become paranormal investigators out of the blue?
You're not talking a certain family, are you?
Maybe.
Those grapes aren't sour, are they?
No, I'm just saying there are a few like people who now identify as ghost hunters or paranormal investigators.
Rob Lowe had a show.
Yes.
The Lowe Files.
Yeah, and you go.
It's like I would never have associated Rob Lowe with paranormal investigation. At least with the Osborns, they've got that dark, creepy vibe. Yeah,
and Jack
by himself.
He's into it.
Yeah, and he had the show before the family and all that kind of stuff, and he was doing it all. And Jack, from what I've seen, is pretty level. Like, he's not that dramatic. When you throw Kelly in the mix, things get a bit dramatic, but that's Kelly Osbourne. That's what happens. It's okay. Well, look, Matt Rife has a series on YouTube.
Yeah, so what do you think? There's a new show.
Even Isaac has a show. Even Isaac has his own paranormal off-spin. So,
but I do know that he's been into it for a very long time because I introduced him to it.
But see, we don't know. Again, we don't know these people. We don't know where their interests lie. They may have had an interest in the paranormal, and now that they're famous, again, Look, Henry Winkler, Dan Aykroyd, Telly Savalas. They're all people that are famous that have had shows. That,
Henry Winkler has had one?
He did. He did some weird paranormal show for a while. I think it was like the early 2000s.
Right.
To be honest, like most other events I've been to, but you get the chance to investigate with members of the team for a certain length of time. I met Carl and Stuart both times, who were great.
Awesome.
That's awesome. I would love to meet Stuart. Stuart is like the Aaron of that. He just gets shit on constantly. I love when you look back at the original Most Haunted, Stuart had a full head of hair. And now he's got alopecia. It's like, poor Stuart. The ghosts have scared his noggin right out. Yeah. So we'll change tack for a little bit because there is a new paranormal show coming out. Now, again, this is I guess it's the modern day answer to the question because My Haunted Project is launching a series on Amazon Prime.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's starting in February. Now, for those of us that haven't followed these guys, they have a whole business plan. They have a whole business plan. They have multiple locations. So, My Haunted Project is the world's most documented multi-venue paranormal investigation. My Haunted Identity is based on a long-running paranormal investigations. They use 24-hour surveillance and opening doors to the public in order to document their eyewitness findings. They currently run My Haunted Hotel and My Haunted Pendle Hill in the UK, as well as My Haunted Manor in the USA.
And they invite members of the public
Yeah,
to come on
you go.
and be filmed.
They have over 2,000 eyewitnesses to their businesses. So
Wow.
the series is going to be on the hotel in Chester.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a whole season filmed already. And I think the second one is already filmed and ready to go in 2026. So they've done a deal with Amazon Prime too. And you can, I'm very interested to see what it's like because if you look at their website and if you look at the trailers for the stuff that they put up, it's very cinematic. It's very, very theatrical.
Mm.
Is that what we're after now? Are we kind of after more drama?
Everything's got to have drama in it, doesn't it? Everything's got to have drama. I mean, look at the shows that are selling. The shows that are selling are Married at First Sight. What's that other crap? So it's all got to be drama. Drama sells. You want to be watching people have meltdowns and things just because we are voyeurs. We're voyeuristic. Is it about the ghosts or is it about the people of the general public
being able to be in that place?
Being able to be in that place and being made vulnerable. And you watching their their reactions to it.
I keep going back, and I've mentioned this before on stuff we've done. There was a show, and it only ran for one season. It was called Stranded, and it was taking a group of people and leaving them for 48 hours, 48 or 72, I can't remember, in a haunted location. And it was just them, and they documented it themselves.
Oh, right.
And it was so interesting, not only for the activity that they found, but the psychology of it all.
Yeah.
And this is a conversation that we've had before for ourselves when we were in famously haunted places. Separate the fact from the fiction, separate everything you've ever seen and learnt and gone, oh my God, I know so much about this place and the ghosts and the people that have been here and the evidence they've got, but what can I get? Yeah. And I think that that's the main draw with your Most Haunted Lives and your My Haunted Project, right?
Yeah.
Would you guys be interested in doing something like that? Obviously, if you're going on a ghost tour, you're looking for that.
Yeah.
But I think the experiences that you offer through Newcastle Ghost Tours and Frightfully Good are more that,
I'm interested to see how they film that because the one thing that we found terribly distracting, even when we were doing some recordings for a certain person who has them on his page, is that the camera really kind of just makes everything just so awkward. Having a camera in your face when you're trying to express an emotion about something just feels wrong. Any sort of light in an area, it was very, very hard to run experiments when you had to be lit properly so that you could get good camera angles. Yeah. So, would people be happy with being filmed while they're having these experiences? So I don't know.
But all right, look back, and this will be, you can actually go back on YouTube and look at this. Those of us that remembered Scream Test, that really random hot minute in the late 90s, early 2000s when Australia forayed back into paranormal investigation, they did a lot what Catherine said, lock off cameras, empty rooms, and then putting people in and out of them.
You see, I don't mind that.
I don't
think
mind that.
That's a better.
Yeah.
It's raw, but I think that's a better idea than actually following people around with cameras.
It's hard because, again, you don't want to be performing for a camera. You want to be engaging in what's happening.
Yeah.
And you can't always do that when you're like, oh, I can't see so and so.
Yeah.
Or what was that? Can you repeat that? Someone coughed. You know, you realize on the other side of it when we go to do editing, how annoying it is. Like you're in the moment and then you can hear someone breathing. Yeah, that's ruined everything, hasn't it?
Yeah.
But it's just, I prefer like that guerrilla approach where there is probably just one cameraman and the person, and it's something I think we need to do a bit more, solo visuals with a camera.
Yep.
Because there's investment there when you're alone.
Yes.
And we have started to branch into it in the newer stuff that we've filmed, and it's really interesting because look at the for those of us that have been following, or if you haven't been following, it was the 160th anniversary of the death of Constable Samuel Nelson at the Bushranger Hotel.
Yes.
And the Bushranger Hotel was one of the most interesting investigations we've done because it was literally the three of us. And it was a different vibe, wasn't it? Because we weren't trying to impress anyone. We were literally documenting what we saw, and you got a shock to your system that night. You had no voice, but that you can go back and watch it. It's we've posted it. It was really, it made doing that and then editing it and reliving it makes me want to go back so badly. I'm just like, oh, we had this, and this. And then we found out more information the next day that we're like, oh my God, we could have asked more questions. It's like, doing that kind of stuff and putting yourself in a situation that we're not necessarily always used to was great. Yeah.
It was good. It was a good experience.
Yes. And Lisa says she wants more.
More solo sessions.
More solo sessions. And then Dave says, I'm sick of solo sessions. Okay, this is why we have the conversation, I think.
So maybe a few solo sessions.
I think for I think it's more interesting because people see you and Anne together all the time. What is it like when you guys are by yourselves? Because
I shit my pants.
And you will see Renata did a big brave thing in America.
I shit my pants on my own.
But she did it. She did it for the cameras, people. And we are going, once Anne gets back, we're going to regroup and think about how to attack these big locations because they deserve a lot of attention, and we want to make sure that we're giving them the best of everything. It is coming, okay? I promise you. It's coming. We're just going to make sure we're doing it the right way because...
If you want to stir me up on lives coming up, if we go anywhere, you just say, make Renata do a solo vigil. I'm going to hate you forever.
Actually...
I'll tell you.
It was one of the... I think the second last overnight we did at Maitland Jail because we started to go live. We did lives then, and people used to tune in like no one's business. Yeah. Were really helpful in giving us information that we wouldn't necessarily have about stuff that they were feeling, seeing, etc. Shanae and I were doing outside in the dog pens, outside of maximum security. And Mick came around the corner and we didn't see him until he was literally in our faces. And I've never heard a scream come out of a woman so loud. Go back. I can't remember what date it was, but if you go back and look at the lives from Maitland Jail, it was hilarious. There were red light. It's like gold class ghost hunting comedy. It was great.
Oh Jesus, I miss that place.
I know.
God, it's almost been a year. Oh,
yeah.
Damn it.
That's a good segue because once locations are, for all intents and purposes, finished, what becomes of them? Are they still of interest? Because I've noticed a lot. My TikTok algorithm is so funky. I've been getting so many things, but what's been coming across my TikTok algorithm a lot has been the remains or the site of Bobby Mackey's Music World.
Ah, yes.
Now,
Yes.
the infamous portal to hell, Bobby Mackey's, is no longer there. It's pulled down, destroyed. It's literally a construction zone. It's dirt. But people are still so interested in the dirt. They're like, the well is exposed. I'm like, it's a hole in the ground.
But it's got a history to it. It's got a myth. It's got a legend.
There's nothing happening in that space, though. They're not rebuilding Bobby Mackey's there. They're moving it.
I thought they were rebuilding on that site.
Oh, that's not what I heard. If anyone has more information, please let us know.
If you know what's happening with Bobby Mackey's.
Because if they were moving it, who would care? Why would you call it Bobby Mackey's Music World if you're moving the location from the infamous, that's another one of those spaces that is so drenched in its history through paranormal TV.
Yeah.
It's like
there's no one ever been in there that hasn't had something occur.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like the Conjuring House. No one has ever been there without actually something happening. Except for us. Yeah.
I can't speak on that one. I wasn't there.
Sorry.
I wasn't there for that one.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all right. Yes, but I just don't know that, especially if it's going to be all new materials, all new this, all new that, does it have the same gravitas as visiting the original building?
I think it's going to be a very different experience.
Look, I'm going to ask the people out there, would you visit the new Bobby Mackey's just out of curiosity, or would you go, okay, that's done and dusted. It doesn't even have the soul of the building. Like, I don't know how else to put it. But we do have these reports, even here in Newcastle, of things that used to be something else that spirits linger. Jennifer says no. She's not going. Don't ask her. She says no. She says no. She's not going. Think of the hospital, the Royal.
Newcastle Hospital.
Yes, that is apartments now that allegedly may or may not have some visitors.
Allegedly, yes, they do.
But they don't want to talk about it.
No, because I've had conversations with nurses that have worked there. I have had conversations with people who live in the North Wing, which is supposed to be the most haunted. Some businesses that are associated with the North Wing that have had some experiences. I've talked to a gentleman who purchased for himself a retirement unit on top of the hotel that's there. And so first couple of floors a hotel, and then it's private units purchased outright. And he had some wild experiences. And of course I said, well, you know where you live. You know what you live on top of.
Right.
And so maybe not necessarily do spirits still stay even though the building has gone. In some cases, it seems like they do. They just move into, and this brings up a thing. Like I currently do some work at a place called The Witch's Charm at Warners Bay. And today was my last official day, and we're moving out, and we're going to a smaller shop around the corner. Now, the thing is that I have been doing, and a couple of the other people have been doing healings in a particular room on premises for 3 years. I've been there for 3 years. And there has been a development of energies in that space over that time. Now, one of the things that happened just this week while I was doing some healings was the intense feeling that the spirits that were working in that room knew we were going, and they wanted to make sure we took them with us when we went to the next building. And so Kelly, the boss, I went out and I said, hey, Kel, guess what happened in the healing? And I said, the spirits want to come to the next place. They want to continue their work. And Kelly said, don't worry, I've already been inviting them. I've been showing them the way, to showing them where the thing is. So there's an interesting slant on it.
Well, look at what's happened to us. So we were at Maitland Jail sometimes 3 nights a week.
Mm-hmm.
And since the closure, I don't know whether it's wishful thinking, whether it's the universe, whether it's a bit of both. The names and attitudes and behaviors of
certain people,
energies that we have experienced at Maitland Jail have followed us.
Mm.
You know?
Mm. They turned up at Parramatta Jail.
Yeah.
Where else did
they've
they
turned
turn
up at Dubbo.
They've turned up at Dubbo.
We had that really weird night at Tobago House that was very violent and very
out of character.
Super out of character for that space.
Out of character. Yeah.
Some of the stuff that was coming, because we were downstairs too, we were underneath, and it was very, very out of character for that space, which is kind of a bit more gentle and, you know, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's interesting, you know, we get bonds. Shane says, no, I would go to the bulldoze site, whatever is real. Okay, that's okay, fair enough. Larisse says, it would be like rebuilding Port Arthur somewhere else.
Yeah, in a way, yes, absolutely.
Okay, so let me play devil's advocate here then. You've been to New York?
I've been on the outer skirts of New York.
For the people that have been to New York, 9/11 Memorial.
Yes.
Now, I went, the first time I was in New York City, it was pretty recent. We went in, God, it was still a hole in the ground. There's still missing posters up. There was all that, and the energy and the gravity of that place was palpable. Now it's a memorial, and the buildings are back up there, but it's no less because of what they've done there, the way that they've honored the people that, like, I think there's even more importance now. I don't know. It's just something, it's very hard to explain. And I think a significant site like that, so obviously that's a massive, and, you know, we've just had the anniversary, Auschwitz anniversaries and stuff like that.
Yep.
Heartbreaking stuff on TikTok. I went down a hole the other night just crying, watching TikTok. There are places, and we've talked about this as well, there are places that will always have power. Hanging Rock seems to be another one.
Yeah.
Whether you believe what's happening there or not. So no matter what has been or what is on that site, there's always going to be some kind of energy there from the emotion of the people that have been through stuff there. So yeah, it's a really weird and big conversation as to what you believe paranormal energy is and can be and how it manifests.
It helps for your mind to have something to I guess focus on or look at on those sites. A lot of the sites will have, you know, things to read, or maybe you know, an outline of buildings that were there, and, you know, and things.
To give you a sense.
And so it gives you a sense of place, or of how large or how small it was, and whatever. It's harder when sites that are so emotionally drenched, as you said, kind of disappear into the
ether of the modern day.
And you go, there's nothing here, really. I take people to the old Conflict Lumber Yard in Newcastle, and honestly, you know, I say to people that, you know, this was a place of hard work for over 15 years for so many convicts that were often in chains, and they had been punished to an inch of their souls, and how much agony must have been in that one spot. But you look at it and you go, this is awful. There's nothing here that kind of remains and gives you that sense of place at all, unless you're with someone that can tell you the story.
Exact. That's what I was about to go. Taking a little tangent, I did a walking tour of Jack the Ripper sites when I was in London, and I got so lucky. It was the free tour. It was the last tour of the night, but this guy loved what he did, and he took us to every spot that they found the body, and he's like, okay, you've got to imagine it like this and this and this, and this wouldn't have been here, but this is here. And think about how long it took us to walk from here to here. Now imagine it lit with this, and having someone that is talented enough to put you in that historical place and give you context is so important, because otherwise it could be anything. Could be anywhere, you could be anything. I don't know. I feel like that is a bit of a loaded question that Dave said. Have we been tempted to have a chat to them out the front of Maitland Jail? I think that's a bit of a tease.
We would get booted out of there. That's what I'm worried about, Dave. We would get so booted out of there, because I think that the security cameras are still up and running. I dare say, or it would be interesting to note whether any of that is kind of associated with the people in the council now, because there's no one on site.
We know there's someone mowing the lawns, so we appreciate that.
Mowing the lawns. Thank you very much. I don't think you could loiter in front of the jail for too long without raising suspicion.
I have driven past.
I have, and I've gone, we miss you. We miss you.
I just to see, like just to see if they've been kicked, but it looks the same. But we also know what it was like going back in there after the lockdowns and how long it took for them to clean up and do all that stuff once the pigeons had taken their roost. So God knows what's going on the inside. Lisa has said a museum could have residual energy and also have familiarity for spirits visiting. Some could find it comforting / being remembered.
Absolutely.
London.
Yes.
Apparently incredibly haunted museum there. Natural History Museum. Yeah. They've got the mummies, don't they? I think it's National History. Yeah. Apparently like horrendously haunted from what I've read. And so you've got to think, is that because of what's there, or the energy that people have put into it, or the hundreds of years of occupancy? I think it's a perfect storm, really, isn't it? It's all.
I just want to go ghost hunting again.
I know. I want to go. I want to go somewhere we haven't been.
Yes.
And I want it. I think we need one thing.
And I want it now.
One thing gets home. I think we need to go on another road trip. Hey, need to find somewhere. Do you have a suggestion of a place that you think we would be interested in having a look at? Please do, because Australia, for lack of promotion, does have its fair share of haunted locations.
It does. If only the buggers will let us in.
Let us in.
Just let us in, people, please.
But a little segue from let us in, some people want to be let out because there are some interesting movies coming your way.
Yes.
Folks.
Yes.
It looks like the Haunted House movie is coming back. I feel like it's been a long time since we've had like a not Conjuring haunted house movie, where it's not about the stars, it's about the house
itself.
Now, The Present is coming out here in Australia very soon. For those of you that haven't seen the trailer of The Present, go and watch it because it's a Steven Soderbergh movie. I was like, oh, okay, that's a surprise that he's going into like a ghost movie. This is a ghost movie with a difference. So
I love this twist.
I love it.
Yeah.
The entire film is presented from the point of view of the presence. So of the ghosts inhabiting the house. It's not the family experiencing ghosts.
Are we wary of kind of maybe thinking that people are going to look at this as some sort of a documentary?
I think when Lucy Lou's attached, I don't think Lucy Lou's a random ghost hunter all of a sudden.
You never know.
But
It's not a
I
documentary.
think it's a very like I like it when that we flip the script a little bit and go, yeah, okay, it's an interesting.
Let's consider what it would be like from the ghost's point of view.
Yeah, because it's kind of like I guess what American Horror Story was trying to do with their thing about the ghosts and spirits that live in a house and see generations of people come through. This is obviously going to be a bit more insidious and a bit more ethereal because it's we're just calling it the presence, you know, kind of like the others, Robert. But I think the concept is from the get go.
You know,
Yeah, we know it wasn't like, and the others was. I remember the twist in the others like no one's business. That movie was brilliant. And I loved it.
Yeah.
But I think this is a very different approach, and I want to see how they do it. Apparently, it's very long takes and stuff, so it's going to be one of those ones where you're like, "Oh my god, creeping up on us." You know, that horrible lingering that you get in those movies.
That's old Hollywood style.
Yeah, good stuff.
The long takes are very, very old Hollywood.
If anyone remembers the original Haunting, I still think that is one of the scariest movies I've ever seen the first time I'd seen it. Black and white, 1960, I think it was. And the part that I always focus on was when Nell was alone in the bedroom, and all it was a slow pan into a close-up of the design of the wallpaper. The closer you got, the more it looked like an eye.
Oh, God.
And her narration and everything, like, oh my god, I'm feeling it because that's psychological horror. And you know, you put yourself in that thing. We don't always need the jump scares.
No.
You can put people in that place mentally.
Yeah.
That's a winner. Look, if someone wants to foot the bill, we would love it. And we'll go for a long weekend.
The Hydro Majestic would be great. I doubt very much whether we could investigate. We could possibly investigate the what's the one in the hotel? Starts with a K. C. Carrington. The Carrington could be a goer.
Hydro Majestic, though, you have a lovely high chi. High chi and Gorst, darling. High chi and Gorst. Oh, here we go. What does Dave have to say? I would pay for your hotel if you investigate the Mount Kembla area. Aside from mine is many self-inflicted harm. Oh, okay, interesting. Yes, there will be food and drinks and ghosts. That's pretty good. I think that could be our tagline. Oh, Catherine's been to the Carrington. She says yes, it's haunted.
Yeah, Carrington's cool.
I want to go somewhere old world, you know, just
oldie worldy.
Just that's why I'm putting it into the ether. I've said it a couple of times.
I wonder if you went into a hotel like that, but dressed oldie worldy, as in an Iroquois.
Yeah, an Iroquois moment.
And whether that would, you know, as a ghost hunter, but you're dressed up in the 1800s clothing, whether that would kind of, you know.
I'm sure they do that. They would have to do that at the Stanley Hotel, right? New Year's party. They would have to. Even though it's based on a movie. Like, even though it's movie based, how could you resist doing a 20s, 30s themed New Year's Eve party
right?
at the Shining Hotel? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
And it puts me in mind. Oh, I've lost it now. You go. I had a very good idea.
No.
Sorry. It's gone. Now you've lost yours too.
No. It wasn't important.
Wasn't important.
No, it wasn't important.
We're not that important people. But yeah, I think we would love to do that.
Cucumber sandwich.
Nah, give us a tad. Give us a tad of cake. We love to mock
cream.
Mock.
Has anyone got a question?
Yeah, well, maybe before we go, we've got 10 minutes left.
Picton. Again, those areas are off limits. Off limits. So with all of these places, you have to go through councils and places where you have to ask the important questions about whether you can be on site, Otherwise, you are looked at as trespassing and you can be fined. And so that ain't going to be good for a business. That's why some people get away with doing this and crossing the lines and going into places where they shouldn't be. There's a place in Goulburn that is literally falling apart. It's the old St. Joseph's, I think. Orphanage. Yeah, orphanage. And you'll see people go in there, they climb over the fences, whatever, and get in. Yes, I would love to go in, but I cannot ruin
the rules to do it.
Yeah, I cannot ruin my business by breaking into somewhere where you shouldn't be.
No.
And you just can't.
I do think that there's a missed opportunity. I think we do need to go back to the Bushranger and take some people with us. Wouldn't be hard to book out the Bushranger for a 2-night stay. And I think the town of Collector would appreciate the revenue. It's
now,
the
Bushranger Hotel is out at Collector.
Getting Renata in a car that long is an interesting.
How many hours is it? 5?
Yeah,
6 hours?
It's all right. It's all right, mate. Once you get there, you're like, we're in the middle of nowhere. Look, there's some very interesting angles to the hallways and stuff. It is what it is. It is. Really, Joe? There you go. My cousin lives in Collector.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Oh, I couldn't do it. I couldn't flick on it quick enough. Yeah.
If you blink, you miss it.
Yeah. Yeah, we nearly drove past the pub, Joe. I was like, do you reckon that's it? Oh, yeah. That's it.
Oh, and it's really cute because all the houses and everything are now built around the pub.
And they're super modern. They're like, oh. It's like, yes, I love it. But I think even if you're out that way, go visit the pub. They embrace it. They've got it on a little chalkboard out the front. Australia's most haunted pub. Go have a pizza. I had a good pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Ouija board. Planchette pizza. That's what it was, wasn't it? You stuck your finger in my pizza.
I did.
That was rude.
I did. Oh. But it was good. It was good.
Yeah, soggy scallops in Bundanude.
No.
Yeah, we'll take you straight back. We'll all wear kilts. It'll be amazing. Bundanude is a scar on our psyche, isn't it?
Oh, Jennifer, Collector is 4 hours. Why did it seem so long?
I think it. So we do have. Oh wait, everyone's moving. 2 questions. Miss Machiavelli says, "What advice you give to a beginner or enthusiast in the field?"
Oh, look, you got to start somewhere and have a look around and see who are your local ghost hunting teams and whether they actually do tours in places, because that can give you a really good insight into, going safely into a space and not necessarily needing a lot of equipment, but just being able to enjoy the space and getting your spidey senses working. So that's the easiest thing, because I know there are a lot of people out there who would like to do some ghost hunting. It's very, very rare to be able to have places or sites in and around your area that you can just go on without having to notify 1,000 people and giving someone a whole wad of cash to be able to be there.
Yeah.
So you start very, very small, and the price you pay for a tour is really a pittance compared to what a team has to pay to be on a site to conduct a tour. And I mean, when we were hiring places in America, you were well into the 1,500K for a couple of hours in some places, and they're pretty exorbitant here in Australia as well. So you want to do some ghost hunting, they kind of go, you want to do ghost hunting, you got to pay for it.
But again, there are some places that you would not expect that were surprised. I'm still amazed at Waverly Hills. I will never forget. I was like, okay, cool. That's just a bucket list moment. But it
was so huge.
Yeah. And look, for someone that's getting started, for somebody that was a fan and had an interest in it, that's how I started. I went to tours a lot by myself. By myself until I got put on the payroll because there were stinky teenagers. And I think if you can show that you are interested to groups and that you can be, I guess, some sort of benefit to them. There's a lot of people that I think a lot of people want you to think, and you and Anthony, oh yeah, I believe in everything. Everything's true. Yeah, ghosts, everything. But that's not necessarily what you're looking for all the time in a team member. You're not looking for someone to be a true believer and every glass that moves on the table is a spirit pushing it. You want someone that can go, okay, there's a possibility that this is happening, but there's a possibility that that's happening. There's a possibility that something's happened for you. There's a possibility that someone else is having a completely different situation. And the truth lies
somewhere in between.
And that's the interesting thing.
Yeah.
Because...
And you've got to be prepared to do some of the dirty work.
Yeah.
You've got to be prepared to come and help and assist.
Carry
things. Stand in the sidelines as the team does its thing. So, as you get more consistent and as you become more of an asset to them, they can put you in places and give you that opportunity to lead. And that's great learning. It's a great learning experience. It really, really is. If you've got a good team that will, take you in and, give you all sides of what's going on, not just that it's definitely those orbs are paranormal, then, that's where you learn.
And especially when you can take bits of information from the team around you and go, okay, and learn what they do, but you don't necessarily have to copy someone.
Yeah.
You're just taking what works for you and making it work. If you enjoy setting up headphones on parabolic ear, it's a very lengthy process. But I did that for a year.
But we had a great time with the parabolic ear the last time at our house. I was going to do that again. And I had a really brilliant idea with some of the UFO stuff that's going on right now that I was going to trial at Tomago House. But
they're calling them in.
Yeah, unfortunately, we weren't allowed to go because of rain damage. Damn it. But I want to trial some of that.
Lisa? Oh, where are you? You don't even know. We used to set up 2 parabolic ears with 5 on each, and they were the old dodgy headphones. So it used to take 40 minutes to set up, and I would conveniently people would be like, oh, I'm just going out here, and then I'd be standing in B-wing, either sweating my ring out or freezing my ass off, trying to set up this parabolic ear, running up and down the stairs, and then everyone's like, is it ready? I'm like, yeah, it is. It's all good. You got to earn your stripes.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You got to earn your stripes and you got to get amongst it. And, you learn how to problem solve when equipment doesn't work and what you need to do and how the equipment works more accurately. We've learned, a lot.
And just because Anne sells equipment doesn't mean that we don't have to buy equipment.
Right.
We don't get equipment for free. No one gives us equipment to test.
No one gives us
any equipment for free. We have to buy that stuff. So it can become a very, very expensive little hobby if you're not careful. And so the best idea for anyone starting out is to really just go very simple. Just get a recording device, a really, simple, good recording device, preferably not on your mobile phone, and a good pair of headphones. That's what you need to start with.
And then it's just you go down the rabbit hole, don't you?
You do.
Well, thank you for joining us down the rabbit hole tonight, folks. We hope you've had the joy and pleasure of listening to us. We hope the conversation's been interesting, at least. And if you do, as we said, have any thoughts about where we should venture next, we've been with nuns, we've been with bushrangers. We're ready for another adventure.
Wouldn't mind going back to some nuns.
Yeah, I've
got a thing or two to say.
It's the drive that We have to fly to the nuns.
Oh, yes.
We've got to fly to the nuns. We
Yes.
can't drive to the
Oh,
nuns.
that's way too
And we're
far.
not going in summer.
Way too far.
We're not going in summer.
I wouldn't mind an old pub.
Yeah, because we can have a
either.
shanty.
It's been a while since we had the last drink at a pub.
We can have a shanty and a schnitzel and some spirit communication.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty gorgeous. Thank you for joining us,
Oh,
folks.
Miss Anne is on.
Oh,
Hello, Miss Anne. Miss ya.
we're finished, so you've missed us by that much. Missed us by that much.
Where Murrumbara, those streets have some very sad stories.
Oh, can I cut? Yeah, you're going to drive. It's all right.
Yeah, you're
Thanks,
driving,
Daisy.
Anne.
We'll look into that. You got to give Renata something to study. Oh God, help us! She's going to fixate, and it's going to be all over. Oh, Robert!
Oh,
Thank you so
Robert,
much.
thank you so much.
Every little bit helps. Everything to keep continuing. So
yeah, none for the nuns.
none for the nuns. The nuns could bugger off.
Yeah.
Of course not.
Yes. But we shall see. I have been putting out some proposals to places to see if we can get inside as new venues, and they've all said bugger off. Just got my last reply a couple of days ago from a place closer to Sydney, and they went, "It's not the type of thing we do here." No, it has to be approved by the committee.
Yeah, the
And
committee.
the committee.
We're just got to wait for the committees to die out.
That's
aren't we?
going to be quite hard to get that past the committee.
Oh, dear. Terribly sorry.
Bugger you.
Yeah.
So yes.
But keep putting the positive vibes out there.
Yep.
We'll keep plugging along, and we will see you again soon on the dark side.
Yes, stay spooky
Yeah.
and don't be a
dickhead.
dickhead. I didn't do that right.
Oh.
1, 2, 3. Don't be a dickhead.
Now blow it out your ass. Bye, kids.